human beings like you have capacity, have some kind of hidden talent. Talent, you understand? That is to paint, to play the violin, to play the flute, or to be a very good human being. Human beings have hidden talents, right? And your society, your parents, everybody says, become a businessman, or become a doctor, or become an engineer, or become Indian administrative person, service, right? So your brain, you understand what is inside the skull, is conditioned by your parents or by the society in which you live. You understand what?
Yes, sir.
So, your own talent is destroyed by this pressure. You might be a great painter, right? Or a great singer, or a marvelous botanist, horticulturist, right? Horticulture. But your parents, your society, no, that's not good enough. You must become really businessman, or a good doctor, or IAS. So you destroy your own talent. And what is important is to have your own talent. Then you are happy with it. You understand what I'm saying?
Sir, but...
Wait, listen to what I'm saying. Don't. I'm talking now. And you're listening to me. That's one thing. Human beings have essentially in their hidden a certain talent. Right? Not always to become a businessman or a captain in the army or a flyer. So you have to discover your own talent. And stick to that talent. Whether you become poor, rich, successful.
Sir, but you can also be a businessman, and by the side of it you can also sing or...
What?
Sir, you can also be a businessman, and by the side of it you can also sing or paint or whatever.
You clever boys. You see, you have really trained these boys beautifully. They say you can become a businessman, or a general, or an army captain, and also paint. You follow how his brain is working? You're quite right, Simon. Then you do neither think properly, fully, happily.
Why, sir?
Because you're torn between the two.
So you finish your job.
Yes, I know this. You understand what I mean?
Yes. Sir?
Wait a minute. I'm talking for a while. So, it's very difficult also to discover your own talent. And it might not lead you to success. Doesn't matter then. You understand? Then you don't mind not having much money. Because you have got something in yourself. Right?
Yes, sir.
So find out, all of you, find out your own talent. Something your own. Not imposed by education, by engineer, by your parents, by society, but find out something that you have for yourself.
So, but if our parents force us to do...
I know your parents force you to become an engineer, force you to become something or other. But when you are young, play the game. Say yes, accept that and find out yourself.
Sir, but tomorrow, supposing something happens
No,
to me...
I know. Just listen to what I am saying. Because I've got something more to say. Right?
Yes.
You don't mind?
Yes.
And also, you are going to enter into a world when you leave this marvelous valley with all the rocks and the shadows and the trees and the flowers and the really peaceful campus. You're going to face a world that is terrible, right? There's violence, kidnapping, shooting, bribing. The world is becoming more and more dangerous, right? And the world is becoming corrupt all over the world, not only in India, where it's quite blatant. You know what the word blatant means?
Yes.
Quite open. They say, give me something before I go do something else. There's corruption, right? All over the world, not only here in this country, but in America, in France, in England, political corruption, social corruption, black market, right, and so on. There's tremendous corruption all over the world, right? We say that corruption is bribing, passing money under the table, right? Paying cash without giving an account. All that's called corruption, right? But that's only a symptom. You know what symptom means?
The signs.
Huh? Do you know what symptom? Right. Symptom means I have eaten something very heavy food and I have a tummy ache. The tummy ache is the symptom. But the cause is my eating a wrong food. Got it?
Yes.
So, I want to go into the cause of corruption. We say corruption. I hope you're all listening because you're all going to face the world when you leave Rishi Valley.
Supposing you, if you don't take the money he's giving, sir, he might do something worse. If you take the money also, you're going to keep feeling the heart you shouldn't have.
If I give you money on the table, you become corrupt.
Yes, sir.
And then you also become corrupt because you are accepting money, right?
Yes, sir. But if I don't take it, then he will do something.
I know. If you don't take it, it'll hurt you. I know. Just listen, understand what is the cause of corruption. You understand? Corruption isn't merely passing money under the table, bribing, black market, but it has, the cause is something entirely different. Right? I'm going to go into that if you're interested. Corruption begins with self-interest. Do you understand this?
Yes.
If I'm interested in myself and what I want, what I must be, if I'm greedy, envious, harsh, brutal, cruel, there is corruption. You understand? Corruption begins in your heart, in your mind. Not just giving bribe money, and that also is corruption. But the real cause of corruption is inside you. Unless you find that out and change that, you will be a corrupt human being. Do you understand what I'm saying? Corruption is when you are angry, when you are jealous, when you hate people, when you are lazy, when you say this is right and I feel this is right and stick to it. You understand what I'm saying?
So, it looks like everything comes down to selfishness.
Everything comes under selfishness. You are quite right. Corruption begins there. You understand, old boy?
Yes.
So don't be corrupt. It doesn't matter if you die for it.
Sir?
Wait, listen to me. You understand? We are all so frightened. You say, but how will I live? What will I do if I'm not corrupt, when the whole people around me are corrupt? You understand what I mean by corruption? Not just the outward sign, but the deep inward sense of corruption that human beings live with. Selfish, thinking about themselves, wanting their success, envious. You understand? So, corruption is inside, in your heart and your brain. So if you understand that very carefully, and you are really serious, not cynical. Most of those grown-up boys who are going to live have become cynical. They see what the world is. They say, well, I've got to accept it. That's a form of cynicism. But if you understand very carefully from now that corruption is not merely passing money under the table, bribing whether it's 2 rupees or $10 million. It's still bribing. And being violent is part of what is called corruption, terror, all that. That's what's happening in the world. If you are a human being growing up, don't be like them. Don't become angry. Don't be envious. Don't always seek success.
So
Right?
how can we stop all that?
Huh?
How can we stop being envious and...
If you want to be envious and see what happens. You understand? But if you don't want to be envious, don't be envious. You don't say, how do I stop it? If you see something dangerous, like a cobra, nobody tells you, you run. Right? So, corruption inside is most dangerous. Right? So don't be corrupt. Begin there first, not out there. You understood?
Yes, sir.
Will you do it? Don't promise.
So?
Wait, don't ever promise unless you're absolutely going to carry it out. Right? But if you See how important it is in life. Because you're all growing up, growing into this terrible world.